Well, good afternoon from Central Texas. Been doing some pretty busy here. It's a lot of brush clearing here the last few weekends here, and this is kind of the progress. Got a great big pile there, another one there, and another one back over behind that cedar tree. But scratching your back there, sea bass, feels good, doesn't it? Anyways, kind of interrupted me there. But anyways, this area in here, my plans are is to make this into a hay meadow. This is some of the best soil I have. Is right in here. It's a good Texas blackland prairie in this part of Texas. There's a strip that runs about south of Austin all the way up to Paris, Texas. Kind of a narrow strip through Texas, but it's called the Texas Blackland Prairie, and it's just very tremendous ground and so forth. Up here toward where the house, up the hill a little bit, it's a lot more rocky. But this here is, I mean, there's some rock, but not near as much as back up the hill. But I want to go over here and show this cedar tree here that grew. This thing's well over 100 years old. I'm guessing probably like 120 maybe. It's a good 16 inches in diameter, easy, and so forth. And kind of what this was the original old roadway that came up. And you there was a fence other side and a fence here. So I believe this was probably a county road at one time. And sorry if I'm jerking around with the phone too much here, or the camera. But you can kind of see the old road, how it went straight up that way and kind of curved. Needless to say, it's got 100 acres here, and I ended up moving my entrance in the center more or less, and had to come along that way up to the house and so forth. Long-term plans here, I'm going to have to get a dozer and take out this fence line. These trees here are hackberries, and they do make good quick shade. However, they are susceptible to mistletoe, of all things. Definitely kill them over time. And that's what mistletoe looks like here in Texas. And reason all these hackberries grow on the fence line is that the birds eat the seeds. Of course, they land on the fence, poop, and that's hence how you get the fence line like that and so forth. And I keep this my brand new fence up there along the road there mowed, and of course I cut off and poisoned, put a little diesel on the stumps of anything that comes back up and so forth. But again, long-term plans for this place. Up front here, I'm going to make a hay meadow here. We walk up a little bit along this old road. Sorry, I'm a little bit stopped up yesterday when I was moving all that brush, and that cedar is pretty rank and everything. But right in here, sea bass is helping me. I'm essentially going to make a rectangle pasture running this way to my road there. That way I have a nice good hay meadow, and this is again the best ground I have out here and so forth. And I like a hay meadow that's a rectangle versus a square, because square you kind of end up spending all your time turning around in circles as you're moving your equipment. I like long runs with when you're cutting hay and raking and doing your windrows and so forth. But I'll get this thing all tuned up, and again, when I get the dozer out here, I'll take out those trees there. These big cedars I just could not get with a tractor, just a little bit too big. But I got a good bit of these mesquites out, and then of course I'm gonna have to go cut them. I still got quite a bit of cleanup here to do with a box blade and the rake, get this tuned up, and then of course I'm gonna hire somebody with a big tractor, a lot bigger than I got, and plow this thing up and get this subsoiler. This ground here is compacted quite a bit, but it's good 3 foot of topsoil here, and it's somewhere in here it starts to get a little more rocky. As you get up here towards the house, it definitely gets shallower, the topsoil, 3 feet back behind me, and then here in front of me, as you get up towards the house, it gets only about 5-6 inches. So there's like a rock shelf that kind of goes up and down like that, and so forth. But I'm leaving this strip for privacy and some for wildlife, and thought it might not be a bad place to put some bees at some point. You got to know what you're doing out here, because there's Africanized bees and they will take over a hive. And So you got to be careful with them. I've had a couple run-ins already with Africanized bees. But sea bass, what do you think? You just chilling today? It's kind of hard to believe it's January and we're walking out here more or less with a t-shirt and you're panting. But anyways, wait, let's get in there and take a look at you. You sure have made a pretty good looking dog. Pretty smart, kind of dumb, but that's okay. You're okay. Good boy. Good afternoon.